Hi guys, today in this video we are going to discuss about the project setup for Selenium. This is for web automation testing for Selenium with Selenium and Java, and here we are going to use Selenium 4. And before we jump to the actual installation and discuss about the more other points, I just want to see why we are going to use the 4.0, right? Because Selenium earlier versions like Selenium 2. Series and 3. Series, those series are old version of series, and if you are going to use Selenium 4, then you will be getting a lot of advantages. One of the one of the major and very good advantages like in earlier projects you have to take care of your drivers, or sometimes you have to use the WebDriver manager, right? In Selenium 3.0, Selenium 3. Versions, you externally had to use those WebDriver manager, or you have to download the drivers from the internet. But if you are using Selenium 4, then Selenium 4 itself taking care of these stuffs, so you do not have to you do not have to be worried about those things, right? So you just need to use this, and that's all for you for your Selenium project. Now we'll be talking about how to create the projects and the basic environment setup of your system, and what all are the prerequisites, right? So if we talk about the projects, there are a couple of type of projects that you may face. One of the project is Java based project, and that is right now is very, you can see very less number of people are using Java based project. Most of the cases you will see in the industry, either it is a Maven project or it is a Gradle project. For our this tutorial video, we'll be using the focusing on the Maven project. If you want to know how to work with the Java project or Gradle project, just let me know, so I can create another video for those projects, right? After that, we'll see how to set the prerequisites of your project to run, right? So we'll see how to as per requirement, we need say Java to be installed in your system. It can be your Java 8, 11, or 17, whatever version you want to go ahead, just install that version. I'll recommend you to install at least Java 11, right? So now, or Java 8 also fine, there is no issue, but there will be later on. Why I'm saying that, because later on the lot of cases you will be seeing that that softwares are not supporting older version of Java, right? So that's one of the reason I'm saying that you should use the Java, let's say 11 at least, use in your project, right? After that, what you have to do, you have to have the Selenium dependency and TestNG dependency. Once we are done with this once we are done with this prerequisites, I'll show you how to set up the environment in the sense setting up the local machine for your Java environment, and IDE setup also, right? And after that, we'll see how to run your first Selenium ski project, right? So let's start. First of all, we'll be creating a project, and that project will be in Maven project. So what I'll do, I'll be using IntelliJ IDE. So yeah, you another prerequisites you can take it like we need IDE, right? It can be, you can use either IntelliJ or you can use Eclipse, right? Whatever you prefer, you can go to this. In Some people go with the Eclipse, some people use the IntelliJ, so it's your choice again. Whatever tools you feel free, whatever tool is familiar to you, you can just use that particular tool, right? Now I'll be using this IntelliJ, and let's create a project, and I'll be creating a Maven based project. Okay, let's go to the IntelliJ, and this is IntelliJ open for me, and I'll create a new project. Let's create a new one. I'll say new, and here you can see we have a project, right? So I'll select this one, and once I select a new project, you can see here I have different options here in the left side front. First option is you can see it is a Maven archetype and Java FX, Spring, Soap, and Dart, and whatever in your case might be, you may not see the Dart option. I have installed the Dart plugin, might be that is the reason it is showing here. But for now, we'll be going with the Maven archetype. Here you can provide the name. Let's say Selenium project. Okay, so I have given the name, it's your choice, whatever name you want, you can provide the name here. And after that, you can choose the directory where you want to keep your project. Let's say I want to, inside of the desktop only, I want to create my project, right? After that, if you want to include this project into your Git repository also, you can check in this checkbox. So for now, for me it is checked, so it will initiate the Git repository for me also, so that you earlier whatever code you're going to write there in your project, so you can just directly push those code to your GitHub repository, right? And after that, here you can see that another option is JDK version you have to select. This is for me, I have two JDK version there in my local system, so that is that's why it is prompting me two versions. I'll be going with the JDK 11, so I just select it, and you can leave this as it is internal. And archetype, this is important, guys. So here from you have to look for the quick start. If you search quick start, right, so you can see we are getting one template. These are the template, nothing but, right? So what type of project you are going to create, you can see here J2E simple and plugin site. So our goal is to create a Java based project, so that's Java Selenium projects, right? So in this case, you can go to the quick start, right? So just click on it, And after that, here it will ask for the person. If you select the drop down, you can see there is only one person, so that is not an issue. And after that, if you see here, we have another option, advanced setting, right? If you go to the advanced setting, it is optional, guys. If you want, you can change the name. Let's say I want to change the package name, right? So it is right now, it is showing that org.example. I'll say org. Let's say uh, I'm giving my name, right? So I can say setting, right? So in the package name, see, guys, here the significance of this name is when you are going to work with the project, your package name will be like this only, right? So artifact ID is, this is nothing but your project name, and this is nothing but the jar file is going to be created. If you want, you can change the name. Let's say I'm saying Selenium project, right? Instead of snapshot, I'll say snapshot. So with this name, your jar file will be created. So you can remove this from here, and you can use it here like underscore 1.0.0, right? So in this way, you can update. It's your choice. Completely, these three fields your choice. If you want to update, if you do not want to update, that's completely fine. Let's create the project. I'll hit the create button, and you can see the project is got created now, right? My project is got created, and you can see this is the sample project is got created. And inside of this project, I have source folder, and here you can see I have two folder, main folder and the test folder, right? You can see here the directory got created, org.sd. This is the package name that I have provided there in the artifact. And you can see there is one pom.xml file is generated. This is the file where we are going to add all the dependencies, right? So now another thing is, you have to, I'll show you how to set up the environment. Let's say you have installed the Java, and once you install the Java, you can see that your Java is installed there in the C drive, right? If you go to the program files, inside of this, you can see one Java folder is there. So this is the Java folder. Here you can see your installed for Java, right? JDK. So this is JDK 11, and what you have to do, actually, you just copy this particular path of this JDK, and you go to your environment. You will see environment. So edit environment. Here you can see environment variables, right? So if you click on this, you can see here we have added one path, right? So similar way, you can add, just click on new, and you can add the path of this, right? Here you can add the here you can see, just say Java underscore home, and here you can paste the path that you copied from that here, right? This is the part that you have to copy, and you have to paste over here. Once you've done this, one more thing you have to do, just go to the path variable. Here you can see I have the path variable. Inside of this path variable, you can add the bin directory path of the Java. You can see this one I have added, and after that, you just have to ensure that you are providing path till bin directory, right? So this is, once you are done with this, your Java installation is completed. And if you want to verify that your Java installation is complete or not, what you can do is just open a command prompt, and you can see Java hyphen hyphen version, right? So if you hit enter, you can see it is showing me Java 11 point something, right? So if it is showing you properly, then you can see your Java version is installed correctly. And if it is not showing, then you have to check the paths and the environment variables if it is properly set up or not. Once you are done with the Java installation, and we are done with the environment variable setup, and we have created the Maven project also, right? So next task is to set up the IDE environment, right? So I'll go to the IDE, and here you can see, if you go to the file, and you see settings are there, right? So if you go to the settings, and there you can see build and execution deployment. If you see here compiler, and here click on the Java compiler, right? And here you can see one option is project bytecode version. So make sure to select the bytecode version, means Java version, whatever you are using. If you are using Java 8, then select 8. If you are using Java 11, then select 11, or other version, right? So for me, it is 11, so I'm selecting 11. And also here you can make sure that you are choosing the similar version, so I'll be selecting 11, right? So these are the two things you have to make changes here, and say apply and OK. Okay, another thing is, again, go to the file and go to the project structure. Once you are there, you can see, make sure that it is the correct Java SDK version that you have in your project that is being selected here, right? If it is fine, if it is not selected, then you have to manually change. If it is not showing here you here, then what you can do, you can just click on edit, and you can click on here and edit plus button. You can say add JDK, and you can browse that from your local, right? So here you will be finding the Java path. So this is the Java path, and you can see, you can provide the path till this folder, right? So for me, it is already there, so I'm not going to add it again. So yeah, that's, I think, the things you have to do. Once it is done, then say okay, and your project is ready, right? So we'll just quickly test if our project is working or not. I'll delete the all demo file that is given by them, and instead of that, I'll say create a new file. Let's say demo. Okay, so I'm just created a class file. Inside of this, I'll say uh, let's say I'm taking a main method, and here I'll say sysout and say hello world, right? So here you can see, if you try to run this code, and you see You see, I'm getting an error. It is saying that could not find load main class editor, right? It means that the class path is not properly set, right? So what you have to do actually, see here the class path is set up Java 11, right? And I think it is not able to find. Let me do one thing. Just do a Maven and clean the project. I'll say lifecycle and verify. So it will do clean up your project, and it will test and it will verify your project everything is fine, not right. Yeah, that is done. After that, what you can do actually, you can go to that file and see project directory again, and here you can see by default, let's say I'm selecting 11, okay, local language, and say I'll say apply and okay. Okay, now you can see the error has gone. Now you can just directly run the code. You can see now we are getting the outcome. Awesome, right? Now our project is ready to for automation. Now what we'll do, we'll quickly add the Selenium dependency and TestNG dependency, and we'll run our first code. So what I'll do, I'll take let's say I'm going to Google, and I'll say Selenium Maven dependency, right? So if you go to Selenium, the first link, and here you can see right now Selenium 4.20 is running. So just copy this dependency and add in your project. I'll go to pom.xml file. Inside of the dependencies, right here you can add your Selenium dependency. Another one I'll quickly add. I'll say TestNG. So search it for TestNG, and I'll copy it, and I'll take the latest version and copy it from here, right? So yeah, we have added two dependencies. Now just click on it, this icon here you can see. So it will download all the dependencies that you have added in your pom.xml file, and it will get added into your project. Once wait for this download complete, and then after that the project is ready for starting with your first project, right? So you can see our dependencies got added. Now what we'll do, we'll quickly create an automation script, right? And for automation script, let's say we'll be going with one particular website. Let's say I have a application in my local. So this is my local application. Here I have two options, two fields, right? So in this two field, I want to enter data. Let's say my username is admin and password is admin, right? So once you click on login button, you will be logged into, you will be directed into your home page, right? So what I'll do, this is something we are going to automate. So what you can do, you can this is my, let's say this is my application URL, and what you will do, we'll create a new automated test case, right? So let's say demo automation, right? So I'm creating a class with name of demo automation. Instead of this, what you can do, you can create a test class. So let's say test method. If you annotate with test at the test, then test method that will mark your method as a test. So I'll give the name of the method as a public void, let's say login app, right? So here, this is the login app. So here, what I have to do, first of all, I have to launch the browser. For to launch the browser, what you need to say, you need to say WebDriver and say driver equals new. Let's say I want to launch into Chrome driver, so I'll say Chrome driver, right? If you want to launch into Firefox, so you'll say Firefox driver. Yeah, that's all. If you launch this, then it will, what it will do, it will launch the Chrome driver, right? So after that, I want to see. I'll show you what happened actually. So if you run it, it will just launch the browser and it will not do anything, right? I'll show you a couple of properties what it does actually. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting some error. TestNG exception. See, this is the code that I have added for launching the browser. If you run this code in this way, what happened? I'll show you. So I'm running this my code again, and see, once I have run, my execution got completed. You can see this execution got completed, and it is showing me what run one and pass one, right? Failures is 0. So this is something we are getting the result from the test by using the TestNG. If you are not using the TestNG, so you will not be able to see this kind of results, right? And I'll show you what happened. So once I say I open a new Chrome driver, right? So one Chrome driver is got initiated, and remember the Chrome driver it is initiated. It is a completely fresh. You can see Chrome driver instance. The Chrome driver I have in my local. You can see there is some difference. I have some bookmarks added, right? So the settings of my local Chrome and the Chrome which is opened by your Selenium, that is completely different. It is completely open as when you install first time your application browsers, right? So it is a complete fresh browser, and when you will be running Chrome browser from your Selenium, it will show you this Chrome is being controlled by automated software, right? So this is the Chrome it will show. Okay, one more thing to understand here, this when the Chrome is browser is open, it is not opening in the maximized window, right? This is kind of so it is not opening in the maximized window. So we have to handle that in our script. So to open the browser in a maximized mode, what you can do, you can say driver dot manage dot window and dot maximize. This is the command to maximize your browser which is opened. Okay guys, so you have to remember this one. After that, we can say driver dot get right? And after that, you have to, inside of this, you have to pass the URL. This command is used for navigating to a particular URL. Let's say I want to navigate to this particular login page, so I'll be copying this URL and paste it inside of this get method, right? So once you see driver.get and you pass the URL, so what it will do, it will navigate to this particular URL, right? One more setting I'll do here, it is nothing but driver.manage. I'll set the timeout. So I'll say timeout and I'll say implicitly await. Later on we'll discuss on what is implicitly await and how to what is the how to use it. Okay, that things I'll be discussing on my another video, but for now I'm just using it. Okay, don't worry about that thing. So I'm done with the setup. Now what my task is, my job is to enter something here in the user ID field. So what I have to do, I have to create an expert of this, right? I have to get the locator. So to get the locator, you have to go to the your console window, and here if you take your mouse over, you can see it has ID as a username, right? So I can take the ID. So here I'll see driver dot find element, and inside of this you can see by dot ID, right? We have by dot ID, and the ID we have copied, right? So this is something. And after that, what you want to do in this particular field, I want to enter my user ID, right? So this is my user ID, and see, so for the next field, I have to do the perform the same kind of operation, but here my for password field, my ID will be different, right? So this is my password field, and the ID is password. So instead of username, I'll use the password. Now next thing is I have to click on the login button, right? So what you can do, we can get the locator details of the login button. You can see its ID is submit, so I can take this one. In you can see find element, and inside of this you can see by.id, right? Inside of this I just pass the ID, right? And what I want to perform here, I want to perform click operation, right? So once done, my login will be success, right? So I should navigate to home page, right? So once you enter user ID and password, so you should be able to navigate to your home page, right? So click on login button, and login button, you can see my title is, let's say I want to verify the title, right? So home automation practice, right? This is my home page title. So let's say I want to paste the title, so I'll say driver.get title, right? So this is going to return me the title of the page. So let's print this title. I'll put it inside of system out, and it will be printing me that value, right? After that, what happened, you have observed that in your previous execution, what happened, actually the browser was not closed automatically, right? So that is something we have to again handle by ourselves. So I'll say driver.quit. Okay, so once you say driver.quit means it will quit the driver, right? So before of that, I'll just try to give some wait time. Let's say thread.sleep, and I'll be giving 3 seconds of wait time, right? So and before after clicking on login button also, let's say I'm putting wait time of 2 seconds. Okay, let's say 2 seconds of wait time, right? Yeah, that's our code done. So what we are doing actually here in this code, first of all, this is the setup that we have done, and we are launching, this is something that we are launching the particular application URL. And after that, the first line is going to enter the admin into my user ID. Second line is going to enter my password into password field, and after that, third line, this is going to, I want to click onto the particular login button, right? Once I'm done, I'm going to just print the title that I'm going into the getting into the home page, right? After that, we'll wait for 3 seconds, and I'm just trying to quit the driver. That's it, right? So let's run this code. You can see script is running. It will launch the, is already launched the from driver. It will maximize the browser. You can see we got some error, might be code. Let's see what happened. I think it is not able to recognize. Let me do one thing. I'll do Maven verify. So it will regenerate my project. I'll close it. Let me rerun the code again. Now you can see it maximized the browser. It login also completed, and it will wait, and it will close the browser, right? You can see it has printed the title of the page, and here it is showing me the result that run one, passes one, and failure one, right? This is how you can start working with the Selenium. Your project setup, first of all, this is kind of setup things you have to do. After that, what you want to perform in your browser, and after that, if you want to quit the browser, so this is how you have to use. Later on, let me know guys what you want to know here in details. Later on, we'll discuss on how this locator things, what all the type of locator and how to use the locator, what are the challenges we get in the locators, right? And different actions available there in the Selenium. We'll create a separate video for those things. For now, in today's video, we have learned these things, right? So we have learned already Java, this Maven project prerequisites also we have discussed, and Java 11 setup and how to set the environment very well. ID environment variable also we have discussed on these things, right? And also we created one Java first script, and we have run it successfully, and we have shown how to set up your project in IntelliJ. We have done with the Selenium dependency and TestNG, right? Yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. if you like this video, then stay tuned with us, and we'll be releasing a series of videos so that you will be getting very comfortable with Selenium, starting with Selenium. And if you have any questions, doubt, just let us know. Okay, and I'll be waiting for your more comments, and if you provide some input